The implementation of cooperative learning within the classroom is essential for both students and teachers to understand, as it strives to reveal the success dependent on the accountability of each member within a group. Therefore, an individual within a group is more motivated to actively participate, as each student has a role to fulfill in order to succeed. In other words, a cooperative learning group cannot succeed without an active participation of each of its members. The following vodcast strives to present the importance of implementing a classroom with well-structured cooperative learning practices, analyse how this affects its learners, as well as discuss how educators can improve and raise achievement levels of their students. The key approach to grasp as an educator is to become aware that advantages of cooperative learning are lost if teaching practices stay the same. Cooperative learning encourages a valuable classroom teaching tool due to its approach, which aims to teach through social academic learning experiences. Through structure and setting boundaries, educators are encouraging positive interdependence in relation to a group as a whole and a group as individuals. This learning technique is different and much more complex than ordinary group work within a classroom, as it gives each student the responsibility of a role to fulfill. In order for cooperative learning to be effective within a classroom, two essential elements must be understood for it to produce efficient results. First is a cooperative task, which involves the active engagement of learners to accomplish both successes as individuals and shared success as a group. Secondly, there is cooperative incentive structure. This must be understood as success that is dependent on input and achievement of each group member as individuals and vice versa. Cooperative learning in the classroom can be utilised through activities that involve open-ended discovery-based learning. An example of this is a task that allows learners to share information and gather ideas to find creative solutions. This allows a group of students to share in the success and satisfaction achieved through each of their contributions, and this in fact is the main goal of cooperative learning in a classroom. High achievement in the classroom in relation to cooperative learning cannot be expected as its success is greatly dependent on how well the activity has been planned and structured. Seligman proposed 5 pillars of well-being: positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment. When these principles are absent in cooperative learning, it is almost positive that the goals set by the task will not be met. Before working cooperatively, students will be taught social skills required to assist them reaching these goals set by the task at hand. Without these skills, it is likely that the students may feel lost in their task, therefore resulting in low achievement. Furthermore, there have been disagreements in relation to cooperative learning in which areas of the curriculum are most conducive to the approaches. For example, there is evidence to suggest that cooperative learning only has positive impact upon the achievements of mathematics and conceptual understanding in physics, whereas others have found evidence to suggest its greatest achievements are seen in areas of social study and particular activities that involve higher order cognitive thinking skills. However, overall, it has been concluded that cooperative learning is most effective when students' feelings and interests, as well as attitudes and values, are associated with the task. In summary, structure and planning of cooperative learning tasks heavily affect the outcome of the students' results, not only in relation to social and academic skills, however, also the group's overall achievement. Just as each student has a role to fulfill in cooperative learning environments, so do the educators, as their role is to provide ground rules and enforce structure within the activity. The success rates of the students will heavily depend upon the educator's knowledge in relation to cooperative learning. The teachers require a particular professional pattern in order to use cooperative learning effectively. Educators of primary who are introducing cooperative learning in the classroom for the first time, for example, should be prepared to know the roles, aims, and processes involved with this teaching technique. An example of this would be to take the time to construct the most ideal groups as students learn more in mixed achievement groups. Preferably, the educator should construct a group for 1 high achieving student, 2 medium achieving students, and 1 low achieving student. As an educator, another key process involved in cooperative learning is to actively structure and set expectations in collaboration with your students. This should be done prior to the commencement of the cooperative learning task. Teachers who are strongly influenced by the humanistic approach give greater control of their students in their role in the classroom in relation to the learning process. This is due to the more indirect teaching approach used by educators in a humanist classroom, as they are expected to be more open and honest with their students in an attempt to construct an authentic relationship with them. Teachers should encourage students' cooperative learning by placing emphasis on students' interaction to enable meaningful learning. Not only does a cooperative learning group's success depend on each other, however, it also heavily depends on the educator's ability to structure the session. An educator's role in cooperative learning is to plan, create, understand, and provide structure, as well as an array of intellectual activities which develop creativity and critical thinking.